Ladies and gentlemen, and we bring you Lab Safety 101, where we are going to learn lab safety for yourself. Other concepts shall be covered within this course will be lab safety for others. And then we also cover our learn hazards. Thank you. More for the show. Okay, bye. And now for some basic lab safety principles. If unauthorized individuals enter the lab, you can notify LaDonna at extension 2757.
LaDonna, there's unauthorized people in the lab.
In regards to lab behavior, there is no food or drink allowed in the lab. This also goes for the chewing of gum. For those of you who wear contact lenses, please be advised that chemical vapors can get underneath your contact lenses and harm you. For those of you that wear makeup, there is no applying of cosmetics because certain cosmetics may react with chemicals or chemical vapors in the lab.
In the lab, no horseplay is allowed.
What's wrong with you?
And now we're going to take a look at lab attire. Lab coats are required at all times. Button up the coat all the way. Long hair must be tied back. Only closed-toed shoes and closed-heel shoes. No clogs, sandals, etc. Long pants must be worn. Also, do not wear loose clothing in the lab. For your protection, gloves are a key barrier to protecting the hands. By wearing gloves, you protect your hands from cuts, abrasions, burns, and chemical or hazards. Disposable gloves are required when working with biohazards or chemicals. If you have a rip in your glove, please remove it and get a new one. If your gloves are contaminated, get a new pair before touching anything. Gloves need to be disposed of in a biohazard container. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Sergio forgot to dispose of his gloves. This is what he should have done before exiting the lab. Whoa, let's take a look at that technique a little bit closer. Taking off your gloves requires special technique to avoid contamination, as Sergio is demonstrating right now. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now for some basic safety rules. Always decontaminate your area before and after use. As you can see, Sergio demonstrates this by spraying down with sporicidin and then wiping his area down. This should be done before and after you are done with your work area. Wash all dishes after use. Never forget to wash your hands. Never pipette by mouth. Always tend to Bunsen burners and check your surroundings prior to lighting the flame. As illustrated here, your surroundings should always be checked before igniting the flame. When handling chemicals, wear proper clothing and equipment. Other basic safety rules include turning off the gas and air when not in use, tending to electrical hazards, also looking at wear and tear on plugs, and also not putting the cord on top of the hot plate. After each use of the weights and balances, it is good technique to decontaminate the area and keep it clean. Also, please keep all book bags and other personal items in the lockers provided so that they will not get contaminated with whatever's on the tabletops. Keeping things clean every day helps.
It's also prudent practice, ladies and gentlemen, to keep your area clean. Look how good a clean area looks. Let's talk about chemical safety. As employees of the EML, you are entitled to know what hazards you are exposed to in the workplace. You're also entitled to training about hazardous substances you may be exposed to and access to personal protective equipment for use with hazardous substances. Many chemicals are labeled with the NFPA, which stands for the National Fire Protection Agency Diamond, for a quick visual guide on specific chemical hazards. For a more comprehensive source of chemical information, the Material Safety Data Sheets, MSDSs, can also be found in each lab. The NAFPA Diamond is a system used to alert people of certain hazards inherent to working with chemicals. This rating system is based on 0 to 4, where 0 indicates slight hazard and 4 indicates severe hazard. Material Safety Data Sheets contain chemical information such as product identification, hazardous identification, first aid, exposure controls, personal protection, stability and reactivity, and toxicological information. An MSDS on each chemical in the lab should be located in the MSDS binders. Biohazard safety. Biohazards include bacteria, fungi, viruses, parasites, and any bodily fluids, plus anything that comes into contact with these or is contaminated by them. Contaminated by pathogens through cut or punctures from a contaminated sharp object, or when you touch a contaminated surface and touch your eyes, nose, mouth, or open wounds. You should treat all pathogens with care and any human bodily fluid as if it were infectious. The lab does contain several known pathogens such as E. coli and Vibrio species. Great care should be taken with each of these, and any incident should be reported to For sharps disposal, all sharp metal objects, both contaminated and non-contaminated, such as scalpels, needles, razor blades, and scalpel blades, should be deposited in sharps containers. Do not recap needles, just discard them in sharps boxes. For biohazardous waste disposal, please dispose of it in red biohazardous bags that should be double bagged and autoclaved at the end of the week. Emergency equipment and procedures. In case there is a power outage, don't panic. Turn off the equipment in use and do not open fridges or freezers. This will help maintain their temperature as long as possible. Environmental Health and Safety recommends that all personnel exit the building if the power has been off for